This one is sent in by Steve Lewis. Thank you, Steve Lewis. It's by Yahoo Answers User Question Mark, who asks, what would happen if you were to drink the water that was from where Frosty Snowman melted?
Oh, no.
What?
No.
Don't dodge the question, you two. Oh, no. Justin, are you still close to Travis?
No.
Can you take that fool back to Magic Quest?
I'm too far to comfort Travis. Oh no.
Travis has a point though with his Travis's tears have a great point, which is that Frosty is kind of like the most messed up of all of the
Right?
holiday things. Because like imagine if like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had like really bad MS, just like ready to go. You know what I mean? Like 6 to 8 weeks. That is what we're working with Frosty.
Well, even more troubling is the fact that Frosty references it in his song. Now, before I melt away, like he knows his impending death, his heat-related death is on the way.
Yeah,
and he brings it up to some kids.
He brings it up instead of doing something, instead of like moving to Bismarck. Like do something about it, dude.
Or visiting his friend Bismarcky.
Bismarcky, put me in your cooler.
Frosty
you still got that stand-up freezer, my man.
Frosty the Snowman is a great way to teach your kids about death while still kind of dodging the question entirely. Because he does die. You're just kind of counting on that your kids won't remember the next time it snows.
Yeah.
Like, crap. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no.
All right.
It
now
also,
it's time to have this convo.
It also dodges the question about where babies come from, because you can just say that you just put like a magic hat on a lump of flesh. On a big sack of flesh and organs, and then you put a magic hat on it, and then it comes to life. And then
wasn't there a Nickelodeon show about that with the mannequin and the magic hat? I assume that's where babies come from.
Today's special. That's how babies are born from mannequins.
I also wonder if when Frosty melts, does he reconstitute? Is it like if you froze him and then like...
that is worrisome to me, is if I drank the Frosty leavings, and then he attempted to reconstitute in my body, if he would just burst out like an alien.
Or do you gain his holiday power?
Or do you become Frosty at that point, and like the snowman forms around your body and consumes you?
Okay. Hey Bryce, you kind of sound like Burl Ives. What's going on in there?
Do you carry his spirit? Because then I would think there should be an alternate ending to the hit film Jack Frost, when his kid is just on hands and knees lapping up his dad. I gotta get all of him. I gotta carry it with me. What are you doing, Philip? I'm drinking my dad.
I'm drinking my dad. He's really bad at driving.
Save him.
I got to save you, Michael Keaton. Get inside me. Come with me, Michael Keaton. Come with me if you want to live.
Was Jack Frost the movie that Michael Keaton did and then just said, I can't do movies anymore?
Let's be honest with myself.
I can't be in movies for a while.
My career's going to take a nap for a bit.
I've overexerted myself.
What has he done since then? I'm worried about him. He's still around, right?
I mean, are you asking, is he alive?
Yes.
Okay, he's done some one-offs, you know? He's been in some things. He was in a show called The Company, which is a TV miniseries. He was on that episode 30 Rock, and I think he's in the new RoboCop or Toy Story 4 or both. It's both.
Is he happy?
I don't know.
When was the last time y'all wondered if Michael Keaton was happy?
Is he safe? What was the last thing you did for Michael Keaton other than buy Jack Frost on VHS and DVD?
And Blu-ray.
You bought it on VHS first, right when DVDs like started becoming a thing, and you felt like such a boob. You're like, if only I'd waited. Could have gotten all those special features.
If anyone is listening and they're near Michael Keaton, could you check on him for me?
If you're Michael Keaton and you're listening to this, can you
just drop us a line?
Could you check in on
us?
Foursquare? Just let us know where you are.
What if it's something really depressing? What if it's like Michael Keaton is the mayor of the Safeway that he assistant manages?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Michael Keaton has checked in at the Michael Keaton Museum that he made.
I would hate to be the weird magician that came up with the Frosty stuff and then try to explain to people why. I don't know what good excuse. Like, first off, you have to open, and like the first line of your explanation has to be, well, not for sex.
Listen, I want to be clear on one thing.
This should be self-evident. This thing's made out of snow and coal. There is no.
It's not a weird sex thing.
I was lonely. Mm-hmm. And was I open-minded? Yes, I was.
What he has to really explain...
Friendship? Maybe.
What he has to explain away is why make this sentient, living thing with the heart and soul of a kind human being out of the most, fleeting substance that there is.
I made this hat that you put on a fart and it turns it into a person. Oh, no, what was I thinking?
You know how sometimes you experience a sort of a niggling fear of death? Can you imagine a creature that didn't even have the respite of knowing that day would someday come, and after that the fear would stop? Mm-hmm. I need something that's perpetually obsessed with its own mortality. So much so that upon meeting small children in this winter town, he mentions casually his obsession with his own fleeting lifespan.
My first shot at this was Frosty, the sort of homunculus I made out of wet sand right on the edge of the beach, right at about 4:30, right before high tide came in.
Have you ever noticed how from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. every single day, you just hear a creature screaming a sandy scream in terror? That's my bad. But
I'm going to get it right. Mark my words.
Just move them up the beach, you say. That's not a bad idea. But then the pelicans can get at them.
I'll workshop it, but I can't promise anything.
Ugh, it's the pits is that one unseasonably warm day followed by a week of just the chilliest winter.
Dude, today I was walking around Cincinnati in a t-shirt and jeans. It was 68 degrees today, and tomorrow it's going to be 22.
I think that Justin was talking about from the viewpoint of
Frosty the Snowman,
human
Travis.
snowman. Not
as with most things, I had to run it through a filter of how it pertained to me.
Not as a skin-based human being.
It also is bad for me, though, in a lot of ways.
Because then you had to find a sweater later.
Right?
Mm-hmm. At least you didn't have to face your own gosh darn mortality while knowing that a life of happiness is just around the corner for you.
But isn't it even sadder if you think about he puts this hat on, he knows nothing. It's his birthday, you know?
By the way, a top hat, not even a sun hat to protect him from the rays.
No brim whatsoever. And he's just this happy-go-lucky young man, and yet for some reason there's two things he knows. He knows how to love, and that he will soon be dead. He's learning everything else on his own, and yet there is one inherent piece of information in his head. Oh, by the way, if it heats up above, say, about 32, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying he's the epitome of Tim McGraw's Live Like You Were Dying.
Yes. He was specifically created to know only one thing, and that he didn't have long to go.
Live like you were melting.
I told some kids in the neighborhood about how I was gonna die.
I tried to go skydiving, but I just kind of fell apart because I'm made of snow. If a parachute whipped me back, it would probably rip me in half.
Please don't throw my chest bones at a kid. Why does he torment him?
Frosty doesn't have bones, I don't think.
I think that's what I'm saying. His bones are made of snow, and then you turn those into snowballs, and then he hits somebody with it.
Right. How is he ambulatory if inside his snow flesh is not a nice skeleton?
I assume it was various sacks of water and air.
It's squishing and refilling.
Much like an octopus or something along those lines.
Did you go see Frosty? Yeah, I tried to stand next to him, and the sound of his body moving.
Would it be great if it had nothing to do with magic? It was just it was genetics. Someone genetically made a hat that when you put it on, that was the only response system.
This is gonna sound weird, but could you put your mouth on my armpit and blow? My air sac seems to have deflated. I want to wave goodbye to you kids before it's too late.
Watch out for my venomous prongs. I have all of those to keep the dogs away.
Oh, the traffic cop hollered stop, so I inked all over him. Goodbye.
I'm nature's greatest monster.
Merry Christmas.
I'm a nightmare. Please end me. Please just turn that radiator on. I will be outskis in like 10.
It does explain why Frosty smokes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why he has a pipe.
He's
What's he
got
got to
nothing
lose?
to lose.